Is it too soon then to read into any lockdown lessons in shopping? Kate Hardcastle is an independent retail expert and joins us from Leeds. Lovely to see you as ever, Kate. Happy Xmas, my favourite week of the month. Let's start with our online shopping boom. It's cancelled out some of that reduction in footfall. Who are the winners and losers in that game?
Hi, Nina. Yes, I think this is a case of the great retail reset, where organisations in the business of retail who have been listening to the consumers and growing their online presence, and by that, I don't just mean the ability to sell online, I mean the ability to build relationships through social media and have those conversations with their consumers online, have been the real winners because they've been ready, even though they didn't even know it was coming, for a situation like the pandemic where we've had these on and off starts with traditional retail bricks and mortar. It doesn't necessarily mean the end of the high street. I think we're going to get a rejuvenated offer there that won't be as dependent on retail, but will have a balance of activities. But it's certainly been a shift to online, and I don't see that's going back. We've seen what we think is potentially about 5 years worth of growth in a matter of months. And that means that the winners this Boxing Day have certainly been the online brands who've already got the influence with the consumers that are buying that way.
Who stands out to you in that regard?
I think we've got the traditional brands that are moving quite quickly. We've heard both challenging stories from both John Lewis and Marks and Spencer's this year, but as part of their remedy plans, they've both said they're going to be investing in a lot more in terms of their website offers. And I think you can already start to see that. But when I look at brands that are already pure online players, definitely for younger fashion oriented audiences. Some of the sports brands and fast fashion brands like Boohoo have done particularly well. But I think also it's the brands that are quite niche. And I think what's really upbeat in all of this, Nina, because we do talk about a lot of retail doom and gloom, is a lot of the micro businesses, smaller businesses, where there's micro manufacturing as well, which means more local, more closer to us, perhaps here in the UK, right next to us in our doorsteps. I think that's the buoyancy there is quite exciting. And I think we're going to get much more vibrancy online between the smaller businesses and the bigger businesses.
That's quite interesting, isn't it? And often they support one another. We were talking earlier about the boom in home decor, everybody sitting at home, looking around and thinking, let's start with the DIY. An increase in those sales, but then we've also seen a reduction in smartware for work. Are we going to stick with those trends as we go into 2021, regardless of working from home?
There's a lot more consideration from consumers. They're thinking very much about where they want to spend their money. So spend, as you've heard, still is quite buoyant, but we're really considering making these homes of ours into restaurants, cafes, offices, nurseries. So we've seen a boost in terms of things like homeschooling equipment, office equipment and DIY, and we're rejuvenating those places as new places to be. Whereas actually elements like fashion, many people have had a look at their wardrobes, gone through it, donated a lot to charity sales. We know that's gone up this year. And therefore, they're not going to be buying items of clothing for holidays they can't go on and fashion items for events they can't attend. So I think it's going to be about considered fashion going forward. Again, one of the exciting trends to look out for there is the rental market. A lot of new businesses emerging into the idea that you can rent an item for a one-off occasion and then send it back for a much lower price than buying it.
Thank you, Kate. So.